You know, I think of the David Moyes story here, Simon. This guy deserves an enormous pat in the back for where he's got to and what he's doing. Not just with West Ham, but on a personal basis. Because it was an almighty kick in the teeth for David. That he got his dream job. Manchester United was a massive job. And it ended the way it ended. Because he wanted to do it for David Moyes. He wanted to do it for Manchester United. Yep. He wanted to do it because Sir Alex had so heavily endorsed him.
Yeah.
And then he had to go elsewhere. And now in a circuitous route, he's ended back at West Ham. And on this occasion, he's got something going.
Yeah, I mean, conventional wisdom tells you that anyone that followed Alex Ferguson was going to be in a very difficult and invidious position. So I think a lot of the managers that might have been in the mix for that, despite the fact he was anointed by Alex Ferguson, would have stepped away from that going, look at the playing squad, look at the fact that Alex sort of wrung the last legs out of everybody winning that 2013 championship. Look at the legacy of Alex departing, Martin Gill going as well.
David Gill.
Might have been the cross between Martin Edwards and David Gill. Might have been something that most people would have looked at and gone, maybe I'll step back and let someone else take that role. David took it. Then he went through a difficult set of decision making that he'll have to look at himself for and say, Real Sociedad, Sunderland, some of the observations he made at times when he was at Sunderland didn't help his cause. But to go back round full cycle and to go back to the level of management that he was once at with Everton that got him the Man United opportunity shows you the depth of character belief that he has in himself. It makes you question why West Ham needed to take him out in the first instance and replace him with someone else, waste all that money to come back round again.
Great point.
But what he's done and what you're hearing from this West Ham team is a directly relatable product to David Moyes. More so than any other manager, because he's not just pleased to be in Europe, he's building a team to be in Europe. A lot of teams that get into Europe that are sort of secondary teams look at it as a little bit of a chalice because they're going to use their squad in a different way than previously. And you see most sides start the season that are in these sort of situations, finding themselves compromising the domestic league. He's on full throttle. He's on full throttle. He sees West Ham as a project that has a huge opportunity in it, and he's going to drag it kicking and screaming, which means the owners are going to be hanging on to his coattails rather than the other way around. What a place to be for David.
Listening to what he had to say, I think it was interesting where he made a few changes, 5 changes, and it was only one of the back four, Creswell, played in the previous league game.
Yeah.
Diop and Zuma coming in, forming a really good partnership. Fredericks playing as a fullback. Vlasic came in as well last night, new signing. Lanzini, not seen much of him last year, was injured quite a bit. He played as a 10, and then Fornal was slotted out wide. But that midfield was really important. That's an area where he doesn't want to be without Souček or Rice really strong. So there was a good core there, but I can see competition for places, and he took the whole squad with him.
Yes,
everyone's watching, everyone's looking.
Yeah,
and that competition from within is really good news for him.
And what about Moyes? Simon, we're touching on it there. In terms of a redemption story, this is the ultimate redemption story, isn't it?
Well, I think he loves football. He demonstrated he wanted to work.
Yeah.
He went out there and took some big opportunities. He wanted to work abroad, just to stretch himself a little bit. Yes, maybe the Sunderland job was a poor decision for him to take, but he was brave enough to take it. I think West Ham's let him go and realised that the grass wasn't greener. They brought him back and they realised the benefits of him, and he's been allowed to build again. He actually talked about Everton last night by mistake.
Yeah.
He's back in the Everton mode.
Yes.
He's back as he was there.
Yeah.
And the players, it's really structured. Their pre-season, I saw them against Brentford. There's no doubt they're going to go well again this year, West Ham.
Well, I mean, Martin, the messages are coming in this morning. Mickey, a West Ham fan. Mickey, good morning to you. Jim, what David Moyes has done is nothing short of a miracle. He's galvanised us as a club. I was sceptical, says Mickey, when he was appointed, but my God, he has proven us all wrong, and long may it continue. In Moyes we trust. What kind of redemption story are we witnessing here? I mean, Moyes deserves an almighty pat in the back for what he's doing at West Ham, and who's to say West Ham don't go and get a result against Manchester United on Sunday? We shall see. 08717 223344. Shoot me a message on that on David Moyes 81089. Man, I've got to throw this in as we head towards the first break. What was it like seeing a first European week in a quarter of a century and Arsenal are nowhere to be seen?
It's tough to take, but they haven't been good enough, and you have to take it on the chin. What are there now? There's 32 teams in this new designed Europa League and the Conference Europa League. There's 64 teams in total, and Arsenal can't make it into Europe. So it just shows you how bad it is right now, but it can only get better for Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, it goes without saying, you look around, they're not there, you miss them, but someone like you, in quieter moments, I am quite sure, is as frustrated as hell that your club is not in there.
It's a lifetime's work, isn't it, for a lot of people, certainly for Arsene Wenger, to see them sort of slip out of Europe now the way that they have. It is tough to take, but you have to take it on the chin. The club has to bounce back. And of course, they won a game of football last week, 30 shots at goal with none the previous week, so it was quite a turnaround, but it was only Norwich who are suffering themselves. So this weekend against Burnley will be a real examination of where they are.
But this is what we love about football, though, Simon. His Arsenal are not there. West Ham are, and by God, they're enjoying the moment. They're making the most of it.
Moments in time, and you enjoy them whilst they're there. But it's like Rudyard Kipling, isn't it? You treat both imposters the same way, failure and success. What David Moyes will do is he'll leverage West Ham, but he won't leverage West Ham in a way that a lot of managers do when their currency is high. Because you listen to the way he talks to the media, listen to the way he talks to the press about inflated transfer values, player salaries. He's a realistic manager, so he's probably a dream for Sullivan and Gold. But, you look at Arsenal and say, well, OK, can it get better? Should it get better? Will it get better? Probably. Can it get worse? It probably can as well. Yeah. So Burnley, Martin's absolutely right. Burnley is the ultimate examination, because what we've criticised Arsenal for is a lack of character. They couldn't get up against Brentford and got bullied. But they'll get bullied against Burnley.
But also, he wants value from his players, doesn't he? And he's meticulous at watching them. Many stories over the past. Julian Lescott was watched maybe 30 times before he took the plunge and took him in.
Yeah, rightly so.
Dawson came in as well for peanuts when Tarkowski was quoted at 35, 40 million. No, I'm not having any of that. I'll take Dawson in. He's been a revelation since he's been there.
He has.
We would have had Tarkowski. I think David Sutherland and David Cole put a stop on that one.
You're never going to cut them any slack, are you? You will never cut them any slack.
I give them a fair shout. I do.
Of course you do. Is it one of football's greatest redemption stories? David Moyes at West Ham? I'm pretty darn sure it is. Give me a shout on that. 08717 223344 81089. Celtic had a 2-goal lead in Seville and eventually lost the game to Real Betis. How did that happen? Rangers lost at home to Lyon, but that wasn't the whole story at Ibrox. We'll tell you more in a second. It's Jim and Simon and Martin Keown. We're live Friday morning, talkSPORT.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning 10 till 1 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.